What if I told you that one day in the calendar is cursed, a day that brings misfortune, bad luck, and bloodshed, a day that millions of people around the world fear? I'm talking about Friday the 13th. But is it really just a superstition? Or is there a real, terrifying story hidden behind it? Join us as we delve into mysterious history. We'll discover why Friday the 13th became a symbol of bad luck and why this date is associated with one of the greatest betrayals in history. From the burning pyres of the Knights Templar, through biblical prophecies, to modern phobia. Let's uncover the true origin of the curse that has haunted humanity for centuries. Welcome to Legendary Past, where we uncover the legends that shaped our past. But why did the powerful French king decide to destroy his most loyal defenders overnight? The answer was simple: greed and debt. King Philip IV, known as Philip the Fair, was bankrupt after wars with England. The Templars were the wealthiest institution in Europe at the time. They were the bankers to kings. Philip owed them massive sums, and instead of repaying his debt, he chose to eliminate his creditors. He fabricated false charges of heresy and devil worship to seize their vast assets. The arrests on Friday, October 13th, 1307, were only the beginning. The true horror unfolded 7 years later on a small island on the Seine River in Paris. Jacques de Molay, the last Grand Master of the Templars, stood tied to the stake as flames licked his body. But instead of screams of pain, came words that chilled the soul. In his final moments, de Molay shouted a terrifying curse toward the heavens. He summoned King Philip IV and Pope Clement V to answer for their crimes before God's judgment within a year and a day. And then something inexplicable happened. The Pope died in agony just a month later, and King Philip passed away after a freak hunting accident within the same year. This bloody curse sealed the fate of Friday the 13th as a day when the gates of misfortune open and when innocent blood demands justice even from beyond the grave. The roots of the fear of the number 13 go even deeper into history, directly to the most famous dinner in history. At the Last Supper, exactly 13 people sat at the table: Jesus and his 12 apostles. The 13th guest, who sat down last, was Judas Iscariot. It was he who later betrayed his teacher, leading to the tragic events of Good Friday, the day of the crucifixion. The combination of a 13th guest who brings betrayal and Friday as the day of death created an insurmountable block in people's minds. Since then, it was believed that if 13 people dine together, one of them will die within a year. This biblical origin gave Friday the 13th the reputation of a day when evil comes to power and when trust is punished by death. Long before the world knew the story of Judas, the Vikings told a legend of a feast in Valhalla. 12 of the most important gods met for a celebration until an uninvited 13th guest appeared: the dreaded god of mischief, Loki. Through his cunning, Loki manipulated the blind god Hod into killing Balder, the god of light, joy, and goodness. Balder's death plunged the world into darkness and mourning. From that moment on, it was believed in Norse lands that the number 13 brings death and chaos. This ancient fear later merged with Christian traditions in Europe, solidifying the belief that Friday the 13th is a day when ancient gods and demons demand their due. The fear of Friday the 13th is not just a relic of the past. In psychology, it even has its own name, phobia. This fear is so potent that it causes real economic damage in the modern world. Millions of people refuse to travel, sign contracts, or make major life decisions on this day. Many hotels lack a 13th floor, airplanes skip the 13th row, and you would search in vain for an operating room with that number in hospitals. But is Friday the 13th actually more dangerous? Insurance statistics reveal a surprising fact. There are often fewer accidents on this day because people are subconsciously more cautious. The curse of Friday the 13th may not exist in the stars, but in our own minds, where legends of Templars and betrayal still live on. From dark medieval dungeons through mystical feasts of gods to modern offices and airports, the fear of Friday the 13th is present across history and cultures. Whether we believe in the curse of the Templars, the betrayal of Judas, or Loki's trickery, one thing is certain: the power of these stories is immense. Perhaps the true curse is not in the date itself, but in the power of our own minds, which gives these legends their might. Friday the 13th thus brings us not only tales of misfortune, but also a reminder of how deeply our beliefs and fears are intertwined with past events. It is up to each of us whether we succumb to these stories or learn from them and overcome what lies only within our minds. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. See you next time on Legendary Past.